guys, Thogden here, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now today, we've been doing loads of live streams recently and you've been smashing it. Stay tuned for the next one tonight. But today, we've got a Premier League predictions. We've got a bunch of games midweek from today until Thursday. How are the scores currently looking, Dad?
Are you sure you want to know, Theo?
Probably not, but we have to get this out of the way.
You scored 6 points. Thog Dad got 10 points. Daniel got 11 points.
No. It was my idea to double the points, and now because of it, I'm bottom of the table. I'm done. What's the like target today, Dad?
Oh, the like target today is 4,000.
Smash 4,000 likes.
Leicester against Brighton, 3rd against 15th.
Yeah.
Now, Brighton moved 5 points clear of the relegation zone with that amazing last-gasp victory over Arsenal.
They won't need to worry about relegation anymore with wins like that and performances like they did against Arsenal. Who'd have thought they'd get away with 3 points there? Not me, did you?
Well, I thought they'd survive, but I didn't think they'd beat Arsenal.
There was the whole Malpai drama around it. It was actually leaked that Guendouzi was saying to him during the game, well, oh, look at us and all our Arsenal players, we earn more than you. He said that after he injured Leno. So there was loads of French beef on the pitch. In the end, Brighton got the 3 points, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Leicester City didn't look so great against Watford.
No.
There was a great solo effort from Chilwell, great goal. However, Vardy's a little bit off it. The rest of the Leicester team's average. Harvey Barnes had a stinker. I'm going to say Leicester scraped this 2-1, but it wouldn't shock me if Brighton come away with at least a point.
Very wise words. Brighton have got some really hard games coming up, including this one. 2-0.
2-0, 2-1, there we go. So our special guest today is Tom, Sheffield United fan. You may recognise him from a few games like Sheffield United, Man City, the Milan Derby vlog, and stuff like that. Here's his score prediction for this week.
Hi guys, Tom here with my atrocious lockdown trim, but let's forget that. I think this is going to be a draw, 1-1.
The next game is Spurs against West Ham.
Derby day.
Yes, 8th against 17th. And you know what? I fancy a cheeky live stream there.
I do too. This could be a very good game. Stay tuned for that massive live stream tonight at 8. Get your alert ready.
West Ham just above the drop zone on goal difference, and they don't look good, do they, Theo?
No, they don't. West Ham looked shocking against Wolves. 2-0 loss. They offered nothing in that game to convince me that they're going to beat Spurs today. Even Spurs were pretty average against United in that 1-1 draw. Harry Kane had a bit of a stinker. The only reason they scored, it was because of a Bergwijn solo effort goal. Apart from that, they couldn't really break down United. Can they break down West Ham? Probably. This is a chance for Harry Kane and Son to show their worth. Tottenham 2, West Ham 0.
And I agree with you, Spurs 2, West Ham 0. There's too much quality in that Spurs team.
Shake my hand.
Well, no, we do the
No, just shake my hand.
Tom, what do you think, mate?
I think it's be 2-0 to Tottenham this one. It's massive that they've obviously managed to get Son and Kane back from injury.
Now, the next game is 5th against 7th. It is Man United against Spurs.
Yeah.
Man United looking good, I think.
Ish. I mean, they scored from a penalty and that was it. If Bruno and Pogba do not start the next match, there's going to be a meltdown on Manchester United Twitter. And I tell you why. They deserve to start. Pogba came on and changed the game. Sheffield United had a shocker last week against Newcastle. They'll want to bounce back. But will they be able to? Because they'll be playing against a much better side. And they've really lost their momentum after Corona. I'm going to go with a 2-0 prediction.
I was surprised by how poor Sheffield United were
really
defensively.
Bad.
That's Stevens' mistake.
Yeah.
They've not done that all season. If you look at that Man United midfield and attacking area, you've got Pogba, you've got Bruno, Martial, Rashford. It's too much for Sheffield United.
Yeah.
United 2-0.
I mean, Sheffield United have literally gone from a European side to conceding to Joe Linton. Like, do you know how bad that is? Tom, what are you going for, lad?
Now, moving on to my team. I think this is probably one of the least predictions I'd want to do this year. Usually I'm quite confident, but after the Newcastle game, I mean, we've got a lot of people who are out as well. We've got Fleck, who's not fully fit. We've got O'Connell out. We've got Egan, who's now suspended. Henderson, who can't play because of the loan agreement. So it's not really looking great, is it? I mean, you know what football's like. We could still fluke it. So I'm just going 2-0 Man United. I wouldn't be surprised if Rashford got a goal.
And next is 13th against 19th. It's Newcastle against Aston Villa.
Yes, it is.
Newcastle under Steve Bruce bouncing into some form. I'm delighted for the boys.
Give some credit to Newcastle. That Matt Ritchie goal was an absolute banger.
Yeah.
St. Maximin made the most of the mistakes, and they took all 3 points well. Steve Bruce has done a great job at Newcastle. They're playing a Villa team who are not safe, and they're right down there in the relegation zone and have pressure. I genuinely believe that Newcastle will get another massive 3 points. I'm going to go with a 1-0 prediction. Joe Linton to score again. He's back. Corona's saved him.
Yeah, I think it's funny how loads of fantasy Premier League managers are starting to look at Newcastle forwards and attacking midfielders.
It's crazy.
But Aston Villa, you know, nearly upset the bookies against Chelsea.
Yeah.
But not quite. For me, Aston Villa looked tired. I predicted them to go down.
Yeah.
Newcastle 2, Villa 1.
Big call from Thogden.
Tom, what do you think, mate?
Moving on to the team that have just embarrassed us, Newcastle versus Aston Villa. I think it's going to be 1-1 in that game.
And next is Norwich against Everton, 20th against 12th.
Okay.
And Norwich looks so poor, didn't they?
I honestly, we both went in there and actually predicted Norwich wins, and now we look like right mugs.
Yeah.
You know, they went away with a 3-0 spanking from Southampton. I am not predicting Norwich any more results. They're down, they're relegated, I'm sorry. That was their chance, they're not going to get another. Everton are going to win 2-0 here.
Norwich play like that every week, they're just going to get spanked.
Completely, yeah.
They're not good enough to play like that.
Yeah.
And the manager's got to take the blame for being so naive. And I'm going Norwich 1, Everton 2.
Both going for Everton wins. I'm going to say Richarlison to score a brace. Tom, it's time for your prediction.
I'm going 2-0 Everton. Even though it was only a 10-minute spell, I was really impressed with them towards the end of the Merseyside derby. Wouldn't be surprised if Calvert-Lewin scored in this one.
Next is Wolves against Bournemouth, 6th against 18th. And Wolves have got to turn draws into wins, don't they, Theo?
They've only had one game since lockdown, and it was a 2-0 win against West Ham. You're a hater, Thogden. They looked actually a great side versus them too. The goals coming from Jimenez and Neto. Wolves look a really top side right now. They're going for Europe, and when they're getting wins, no one can fault them. The Cherries looked rubbish in their match. 2-0 for me.
Absolutely, and Bournemouth will not relish this trip to Molineux, even though there aren't fans there. Wolves look like the real deal.
Yeah.
And when Traore gets back on that pitch and starts to start, I think it could be even better. And I agree with you, Wolves 2, Bournemouth 0. Over to Tom in Sheffield.
3-0 Wolves.
And next we have the champions-elect Liverpool against 9th place Crystal Palace.
You know what? It's the two top form teams.
It is,
It really is. Okay, Liverpool will probably win this match, but I would never write off Palace.
No.
They're looking really good. I'm going to go off the fact that Salah starts this time round. I'm going to say Liverpool sneak it 1-0 versus Palace. It'll be a low-scoring game because Palace are sharp at the back. They've got Big Roy.
Absolutely. Now, Crystal Palace are behind Spurs on goal difference. They are having a really good season.
Yeah.
And quite right. And they've got things to fight for, i.e. a European place.
Really? You think so?
I think so, yes. Having said that, they've got some really tough fixtures coming up. And this is one of them.
Yeah.
And I think it's a step too far. Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 0.
Let's get Tom's prediction.
I'm going 1-1 for this one. I think it'll be quite similar to the Merseyside derby, to be honest. You know, quite boring, quite flat.
The next game is 11th against 16th. Burnley against Watford.
Yeah.
Watford have got a lot to play for, haven't
They do,
Theo?
and Burnley have nothing to play for, and they just got spanked by City. So I think it's going to be a horrible, scrappy, hoofball Brexit game of football. It's Sean Dyche versus Nigel Pearson. Not one of the most pretty games you're ever going to see. I'm just going to go with a simple 1-1 draw. It won't be something I'll be watching on telly. Actually, it might be because there's nothing else on. But
Now, Watford have only had 6 wins all season. That is a worry.
Yeah.
Burnley, apparently, there's some contractual disputes going on behind the scenes.
Really? Well, I've got to say, whilst we're speaking about Burnley, they had a shocker last night with one of their Burnley fans flying over a plane over the Etihad saying, "White Lives Matter Burnley." And I just think it's completely ignorant. I thought I had to mention it. I know for a fact it doesn't represent the whole Burnley fan base and just a small minority. So don't think it's just a whole Burnley fan base, and it is completely ignorant what he said. Anyway, we'll move on. My prediction is 1-1. You've said...
I agree. Burnley 1, Watford 1.
There we go. We agree again.
Now it's your turn, Tom.
Watford obviously have so much to play for in terms of Premier League survival. So I think that will be a big factor in this game, and that's why I'm going 2-1 Watford.
And the next game is Southampton in 14th against Arsenal in 10th.
Ooh.
Could Arsenal drop into the bottom half there?
Well, Dad, look, there's only a 3-point gap between these two teams.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
This
know.
is a mid-table match. It really is.
It is,
you know,
yeah.
neither of these teams are going to make Europe. Neither of these teams are going down. It's simply one of those games. Southampton just came off a 3-0 win against Norwich. Ings on fire, looking solid. Arsenal just lost a 2-1 to Brighton. You go in form, you could probably back Southampton being the home team. I'm going to say it's going to be a draw. Southampton 2, Arsenal 2. I think Ings will score in this game. He'll look good. Looking back at this fixture, we would have always said Arsenal would win this, but not anymore. Times have changed. It is mental to see these two probably on the same standard now.
Yeah. Southampton will really fancy this. And Arsenal, I mean, what has gone wrong? I mean, injuries, that can't be helped.
Yeah, I know.
But
They've had 3 injuries since they've come back from 2 games. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah. But performances are poor.
Aubameyang hasn't scored him, but that is so unusual for him.
Yeah, and the discipline has been really poor. And
Yeah.
Guendouzi was a disgrace. Should have got a red card.
Yeah, and he's showing off about money to another. I'm sorry, you're literally 20 years old. Grow up. You know what I mean? What's your prediction?
1-1.
1-1, 2-2. Here we go, Tom, what do you think?
I think this will be 2-2. Southampton, they played very well against Norwich, and I think they look like they're trying to sort of rebuild for next season. You know, they didn't have a great start to this season, so I guess they're trying to make sure it doesn't replicate. Against Arsenal, who obviously, they've lost their first 2 games. You know, they really need to start building on that.
Let's move on to the final game, and it's a big one, isn't it, Thogden?
This is the biggest game of the weekend, and it should be a cracker,
yeah, I'm hoping it should be, yeah.
Chelsea against Man City, 4th against 2nd. Thea, what are your thoughts?
Listen, all I can say is the Battle of the Blues. However, I do not believe a team that started Loftus-Cheek on the left wing are going to be able to cope against probably the most on-form team right now in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, Man City are on such good form that you back them for the Champions League. Yeah. I think they'll get to the final against Bayern, and then that'll be a very close game. Man City looks so good. You know, they dropped Kevin De Bruyne and Sterling, and then they still spank, you know, Burnley 5-0 last night with Foden and Mahrez. That is such a well-balanced squad depth team right now. So I'm going with Chelsea 1, Man City 3.
Yeah, Man City absolutely unstoppable in the last 2 games. That's what they can do. They can punish you from anywhere. They can punish you from the bench. Chelsea, I wasn't that impressed. I thought Loftus-Cheek was anonymous. Now, I know he's just come back from injury.
And they played him out of position.
Yeah.
Chelsea were, you know, they had like 90% possession at times, and they only found a way through twice.
Chelsea 1, Manchester City 2. Tom, what do you reckon, mate?
For Man City, in my opinion, they've just been the best team since lockdowns allowed football to continue, not just in England but in the world. I think that's why they're going to win this game 2-1.
Right, guys, that's all our predictions complete. Now it's over to you guys in the comment section. Let's hear all the predictions for all the matches. You can get them from the description, and then let's see. We'll be looking at comments after the game week and seeing who's correct. We're doing a massive live stream tonight at 8 PM for the game. Oh, Tottenham versus West Ham.
Yay. See ya.
See you later, guys.